The road was his home. João, an experienced truck driver with over 2 decades of experience between curves, storms, and silent nights, knew every toll booth, every pothole, every coffee stop like the back of his hand. His routine was simple, marked by the constant sound of the engine, the smell of diesel, and the solitude of the shoulders. On a rainy night in São Paulo, while driving to Campinas to deliver a load of electronics, he stopped at a gas station to fill up and drink a strong black coffee, the kind that keeps your eyes open until the sun comes up. The radio crackled, disjointed news while thunder split the sky. That was when he saw her, an elderly woman in dark robes standing under the awning of the gas station, wet and shivering. Her wrinkled face hid a lost look, and her clothes made it clear. She was a nun. But the strangest thing was the emptiness in her gaze, as if she were there and at the same time in another world. João, driven by an impulse he himself could not explain, approached her and asked if she needed help. The nun said a few words, in a soft, almost childish tone, revealing that she was lost and could not remember the way home, the convent. She had no documents, no cell phone, and seemed confused about even her own name. João's sense of urgency was pressing. He needed to deliver the cargo before dawn to avoid a heavy fine and perhaps even losing his contract with the transport company. Still, something about that fragile woman prevented him from leaving her behind. Against all logic, he opened the truck door, helped the nun climb in, and promised to take her back home. His goal now was different: to help her find her way back, to the convent and, who knows, back to herself, even if that meant putting his career at risk. The journey was long and full of unexpected events. The rain came down hard, making the road slippery and dangerous. The GPS was no help, since the nun could not remember the name of the convent and only provided fragments of memories. A fountain, with stone angels, the smell of fresh bread in the morning, the sound of bells echoing at dusk. João tried to look for nearby convents in the outskirts of Indaiatuba, but each call was a disappointment. At one of the stops, he had to face a group of robbers who tried to intercept the truck, and only escaped thanks to a risky maneuver, in the wrong lane. The nun, strangely calm, prayed quietly the whole time, as if she knew that the danger was temporary. With each passing hour, the tension grew, as did the fear of losing everything for a gesture that perhaps would not even be understood by anyone. Upon arriving at the convent, João was greeted by a shower of hugs and tears. The sisters ran to get the nun, who, upon seeing the familiar faces, seemed to wake up from a dream. She looked at João, touched his calloused hand, and said firmly, "My diesel angel." The scene moved everyone. João, tired but at peace, returned to the truck with his chest full of emotions and a note from the nuns with eternal thanks. However, when he returned to the transport company, he received an official warning and a fine for being late, a consequence of his choice. But he was not shaken. He felt he had done the right thing. The next day, the phone rang. It was from the convent. The nun had recovered part of her memory and asked to thank once again the man who, according to her, was sent by God. As the days went by, João began to visit the convent frequently. There he found something that the road had never given him: peace. Amidst fresh bread, calm conversations, and sincere prayers, he found a new meaning for his life. The transport company, touched by the repercussions of the story and the emotion of customers and friends, decided to revoke the punishment, promote João, and offer him better working conditions. He was now recognized not only for his performance on the roads, but for the humanity he carried in his heart. The lesson was as clear as the sunrise. The true dedication we make in life is not in the cargo transported, but in the gestures that cross invisible borders and change destinies. And in that truck on any rainy night, an ordinary man became a legend, not for his speed or efficiency, but for choosing the path of his heart.